The World Literacy Campaign is run by Isaac Hayes. And Tom Cruise, for his pet project, is the Hollywood Education Literacy Project. Each Scientologist celebrity is assigned a front group to be the spokesperson of, to help promote and get people into that. Right now, you actually have one of those programs called Delphi Academy over in Milton, Mass. My son went there for probably about 5-6 years, and when we left, he couldn't read. I had to teach him how to read. Another front group that runs all the anti-psych stuff is called the Citizens Commission on Human Rights. Sometimes you'll see them in the Globe or the Herald. They do a lot of really obnoxious stuff. Every time there's one of these kids who completely whacks out and shoots half of the town up, they'll send representatives from CCHR to find out what psych drugs he's on, because only mass murderers would only do this if they were on psych drugs. And so this is what they do. They document abuses of psych drugs by showing people who are mentally ill who completely flip out and explain that it's actually the psychs that are causing violence in society. All right, here we go. And of course, Tom, who really screwed his career. We're also happy about this. Tom actually believes, when he says, you don't know the history of psychiatry, I do, Tom actually believes what Hubbard teaches, which is that psychiatrists have been on the whole track, as it's called, for trillions and trillions of years. The whole track. In Scientology, you have mental image pictures. You have pictures in your mind of incidents that's happened to you. And not only do you have these incidents from this lifetime, you have them from every lifetime ever, for trillions and trillions and trillions of years. And the psychs have been around for trillions and trillions of years, suppressing all of everybody, every being, every person in the whole universe. And so Tom knows this. And he's telling Matt Lauer here that he does not know this. And Tom actually can't explain this either. This is part of the problem that Scientologists have. They have all this wacky philosophy, but they have to cover it up with sort of this somewhat making sense. And he's, oh, you know, the children are all on drugs. But really what the problem is Tom believes that the evil psychs are behind it all. And there's a reason for this. In Scientology, part of the indoctrination of Scientology is this policy here written by Hubbard in '65. It's called Keeping Scientology Working. And in it, and I'll quote this, the whole agonized future of this planet, every man, woman, and child on it, and your own destiny for the next trillions of years, endless trillions of years, depends on what you do here and now with and in Scientology. It's a deadly, serious activity. And if we miss getting out of the trap now, we may never again have another chance. Scientologists truly believe this. They believe that they have this powerful technology from Hubbard that they must follow exactly. And this is what helps critics, is because Scientology, like other religions, will never evolve. There's no discussion. There's no debate. There's no scholarship in Scientology. It's Hubbard's words, and you have to follow them per Keeping Scientology Working exactly as he said it, without alteration, which is great, because a lot of this stuff is insane, and they're stuck with it. They can't change it. There's no two scholars who are going to come up and debate this and say, no, this is not really a good policy, we should change this, because that's forbidden. So they're stuck with this 1950s mentality of this wacko, and that's why they do all this incredibly stupid stuff. People are just astounded by how stupid they are, and it's just because they're stuck and they can't get out of it. It's wonderful, really. Okay, so the indoctrination teaches someone to accept, teaching someone to accept doctrines uncritically. It's the absolute opposite of how skeptics look at the world. The whole idea is to be critical of anything in Scientology means only one thing, and that's that you have crimes. If you are critical of Scientology, if you are critical of anybody, you have crimes against that person. And in Scientology, they have what's called the PTS-SP tech. PTS means potential trouble source. And an SP is a suppressive person. So if you are connected to a suppressive person, if you are connected to me, I'm a suppressive person, then that means you are PTS. You are a potential trouble source to the church. And that's one reason why you need to stay away from suppressive people, because you will potentially get in a lot of trouble if you're with these people. One type, there's many different types of PTSs, but one type, which is really bad, is being open-minded. You are not supposed to be open-minded in Scientology. You are supposed to have tunnel vision. You don't see anything else. You don't look at anything else. You walk around with blinders on while your mind is filtering everything through a Scientology belief system. It's truly, truly, it's just a wild thing that when it's like you're under a spell. When I broke through the indoctrination and actually came to my senses, it was as if I woke up after 27 years. As a matter of fact, my sister, when I was telling her my realizations about Scientology and how it's so fucked, that she said to me, "Hey, welcome back." And that's what it was like. I was actually gone. I was in this mindset that sets you up to not look at anything else. One of the ways they do that, again, is not only with this PTS tech, but with these TRs. See these two people sitting here? One of the first things you do in Scientology is they kind of soften you up with these TRs. They have you sit across from somebody, look into their eyes. There's no blinking, there's no flinching, there's no smiling, there's nothing. You do this for a couple of hours, confronting the person across from you, and it's very hypnotic. You go into sort of this trance-like thing. And of course, at the end of it, there's like this high. It's like a sort of the similar high that people might get from meditation. And once they get you in that state, that's when they come after you for the money. And it's all very cleverly done. All the time they're doing this, they're getting you to agree to different things in Scientology, things that at first make sense, but then he throws all these really weird, twisted thoughts in, like, I would never think that open-minded was a bad thing. When I was younger, being open-minded seemed like a good thing. But as I started accepting things in Scientology, I started agreeing with more and more of Hubbard's dreck that I took it on as my own. It's very insidious the way it works. I'll try to explain more of it as we go along.
What about the misunderstoods, the plastics study?
Well, the misunderstood is another great way of trapping people in Scientology, because what happens is, if you are reading something and you disagree with Hubbard, you say, I don't agree with this. I think this doesn't make any sense. Oh, well then you have a misunderstood word. We get out the dictionary and we find the right definition that fits. And we keep looking and looking and looking. We'll clear the word the, then, was, small words, just of words that have like 32, 40 definitions. And you'll sit there. It's almost like a punishment, where you just have to keep looking up words, looking up words, looking up words, until you agree with Hubbard. Because Hubbard is never wrong. It's your problem. You're the one who has a misunderstood. You're the one who doesn't get it, because Hubbard is right. Hubbard is what's known as source.